Jake DePoe again with another edition of Talky. I'm home at my village of Tututni, north side, Yasho people. And I thought I'd do a little video and tell you a little story. Hopefully you can hear me okay. They're doing a little dredging over here, keeping this a working bay. And that'll make more sense as I talk. So here I am on the mouth of the Rogue River. Yashuchitagi at Tututni, the canoe landing place. And there's a lot more going on here than just beautiful scenery. Now, Tututni has several interpretations, primarily being the canoe landing place. And now, right where I'm pointing the camera is the actual physical canoe landing place. And now this would be for the north side Yasho Tututni village. And so this nook we're looking at here, you can see that there's the mouth of the river as it comes in, or rather goes out, and then it sweeps in on a big curve here before it goes upriver. Now this nook here, previous to all of this construction and all of the riprap that you could see they've placed on the shore to help with erosion and all that stuff, originally this was a broad sandy nook. Now right over here is what is called Doyle Rock, and so there's a large rock arm that sticks out, and the silhouette's making it hard to determine here, but there it is. Doyle Rock sticks out, and so the main river channel actually runs right about up through here and then out. And so by just the geography of the land here, the main current as well as the tidal sweep misses this spot, and there was a broad sandy beachhead here that was, at probably a 10-to-1 slope, so a very easy slope before all this modern construction came in. I want to mention before I keep talking that my great-great-great-grandfather, Gisar, that which is within Charlie Depot, the last true village-born depot, before we were even depots, was born just right over there. Right up in these houses, just up over there is where the village proper was. And now from here I'd be able to hear him singing, hear my family singing in the sweat house. Echo on down here. And maybe some of the ladies and young men are helping with evening chores here. And now this little rock here is important. This rock here is the garbage rock, trash rock, but that makes it sound trashy. That rock right there saw all the village and fishing bay, fish guts and scraps and all the trash, biodegradable stuff. We didn't have plastic and all that stuff back then, all biodegradable. It was all taken from the village right over here and walked to that and then dumped over the front. Now why would they dump it over the front? Well, number one, nobody wants to look at your garbage, and we were very, very sanitary people. We had lots of strict rules and etiquette for cleanliness in the house and in the village. And so all the refuse, even your doo-doo and your pee-pees, they all go over here. And as a matter of fact, I've gone over there and done sort of a cursory top surface sampling of artifacts, and there is still a lot of poop and bones and just old detritus, and it's all still there. All the proof of our existence is still here. So here we are at the canoe landing place, and now it's no coincidence that our canoe landing place is right here, and it comes right off of the mouth where we would be coming in from offshore, where we have our sea lion hunting grounds and our deep water fishing just over here at the Rogue Reef and the pyramid rock structures, our sea rocks. But in terms of working and getting our food, right over here, now we see this seawall right here. The seawall is more harbor wall, is just meant to sort of divide the harbor from the main river channel and the working bay. But that seawall is actually built on top of a natural reef structure that has been here since time immemorial. And that natural reef structure is where all of our family would come out of the village over here, get in our working canoes over here, paddle out. If we're no salmon or whatever going on, we're going to paddle out, and there's going to be rockfish, crabs, lings, all kinds of good yummy food, and all the sea vegetables too, kelp and seaweeds, and it's all coming off of the reef here. And now modern white man came in and found that reef to be shallow enough that they could dump all this riprap on top of it and make a seawall. And that's another topic, but in a way, it makes it easy for learners to see whereabouts we would fish, because we can just literally look and know without doubt that all surrounding and all the way on top, that seawall on the water is where our canoes would have been. And for us Yashua North Village people, because there was a South Village over there on Gold Beach. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by people. Anyways, and so we'd fish off of that reef, and they say, oral history says that reef provided us with so much food so consistently year-round that we hardly ever had to go offshore. And now, we did go offshore, and we have very deep traditions and etiquette for going offshore. And as a matter of fact, the name Chematuni, the name for my village here, also translates to, and I'm going to massacre the translation, but I'm going off memory, essentially, shoot the hole, shoot the slot. And we're talking about canoes. And now this is the hole, this is the slot. So, in the name Chematuni, it gives you directions on how to navigate via a canoe into the bay, as well as land the canoe at the canoe landing place. And then it's no difficulty finding the village. It's within eyesight of the canoe landing place. And if you got a lot of fish guts and crab shells and stuff, boy, you just take it over to the rock and you dump it over. So that's just a little cursory talk there, but the last thing I want to do is talk about this here. And now this is a sand spit that goes out. And now as you see, it's facing north. Facing north. Now before all this riprap went in, and still actually the sand spit on the north side facing south will still come out and protrude. It's just the nature of the magic of our village. But the story surrounding this, there's two stories I've heard. One is that there are two sisters, and they're giants, big sisters. One sits on the south here, she's huge, and the other sits on the north here, and she's a big lady. And they sit there eternally at the mouth, staring out at the sea. And we call these the sister's legs, or alternatively, the mother's legs. So that's the two versions of the story, that there are two sisters here, or that there is one singular mother. But regardless, we regard these sand spits as their legs. So now we see the south sister is facing her leg north, and the north sister has her leg tucked in. And now when the leg is tucked in, she's more alert. She's looking out to sea more. This sister over here, her leg's out, so she's relaxed. She's not quite as alert right now. And now what does this also tell us? What does it also tell us? It tells us where Sehustin is, and that's the master sea serpent, the big boy. He's out there in the big ocean. And now Sehustin and his movements, that's how we are able to tell the tides and how we are able to navigate the ocean. And I will explain that to anybody who wants more. But with regards to the sisters, we see that the south sister is pointing her leg north. And now what that means is that Sehustin, he is traveling north. And he's taken the ocean with him, and that's what we say. And we literally regard that we ride on Sehustin's back out there when we're on our ocean-going canoes. And they say that that master sea serpent judges all hearts. But let's get back to the sister's legs. Her legs pointing north. Now, in terms of the, I don't want to call it real world because oral tradition now, we describe these things as real world, but I'll say Western world. We know that the Davidson current is now pushing north. Or I'm sorry, the California current is still pushing north. So in the summer, Sehustin will actually go north. And we know that he's going north because the sister's leg is out. And now what's really happening is what we call the California current has swept close to the shore here, and it has pulled all that sand out to go and face north. And now, in terms of canoe navigation, we would then know that the prevailing currents are going north, and thus we have a warm water California current coming up, which is going to bring a lot of different fish species. It's also going to develop a lot of different currents and eddies and different things that are going to affect how one navigates in an ocean-going canoe. Now, soon, in the winter time, the other spit will go out, and so the sisters take turns plopping their legs out and being alert while the other one relaxes, and this is in time with the master sea serpent Sehustin and his movements out in the ocean as well. And so here we are at the canoe landing place on the north shore of my family's village at Chematuni. And the sun is setting on the twilight hour. It gets quite magical. So I think we're almost at 13 minutes. I think that's where we're going to leave it. I think I'll sing you a little song and then that'll be it. And this song is a special one to me. It was created by Russell Wallace, a wonderful BC indigenous educator, musician of genius talent. And he gave me permission to learn his song in 2014 after my dad died. And this song was very healing for me at the time, and it still is healing for me, and I have it on my heart. So it's called Dream Song. Thank you, Russell. Hey. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey. Hey, anayata, ana. Ana. Hey. Anayata ana ana hey 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 anayata ana. soon.